understand the process of breathing? Taking in O2, expanding the chest cavity, then contracting the carbon that's been diluted through your body's natural filter. On the count of 3, let's inhale together. 1, 2, 3, inhale. They tell me to breathe life into this poem. Make it come alive, put everything inside my body onto the page. Don't be afraid to be honest. And honestly, I'm not really sure what that means. Come alive when I can't even process the constant battle of circling around the air in my chest. So now I'm known as a shit talker. Voice boxed into categories. This type of oxygen be fire bending. Burning the idea of conversation norms, creating smoke screens. How am I supposed to breathe when the air in the room is not made for me? Bubble baby, I inadvertently made myself an outcast. Breathing has always been difficult. Exhale. I remember the first time I had an asthma attack. My body fought me. It threw its dukes up and said that we need a break from breathing. My lungs dropped to my hips. I lost my sight. My knees buckled that day, and let's just say I haven't really stood upright since until I made poetry my lungs. But now, my lungs are collapsing. I don't know CPR. I can't predict reaction. Inhale. How do I make this poem come alive for you when you're already dead inside? Nor are you looking to get back in touch with who you are. Rather breathe in smog than take in the truth dead in front of you, all around you. Exhale. Say this poem should be heavy. But I don't like heavy breathing. I get winded. I feel faint. My pipes seem rusty. These hard gulps remind me of that time that I almost drowned in Somerville Lake. How do I make this poem breathe when I'm down on bended knee? My back is cracked, esophagus pressed to the back. I'm gasping for your understanding. I'm gasping for the parallel vertical airs of my larynx to finally be open. I'm gasping for air. Inhale. Everybody wants to talk about breathing life, but never check to see if the oxygen levels are right. Is the amount of carbon compatible? What if I want to breathe death into my poems? Let every poem mean the funeral of a broken habit. Pull away from the shock, say defibrillator, and let my heart fade out like my favorite song until finally, I'll be able to exhale peacefully. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale.
And the pot calls the kettle black, calls the kettle burnt, calls her mad. Kettle reminds the pot that we've both been burned on the same stove, that the parts of our bodies that are layered in soot were scorched by the same hands. Kettle tells pot that she still boils water, holds the hot breath of a white man's tongue, endures the slow simmer of a white woman's allyship, and still, we make something beautiful. Pot calls the kettle wicked, and kettle says no, but says she's so magical she burned the hand of the last man who tried to pour himself a piece of her. Says she's so black, she is everything. So black, she is the beginning. She is the first thing someone finds home in when they wake up in the morning. Says, ain't that what it means to be black? To have the world go up in flames around you and still be sanctuary for someone, saving men who lost themselves the night before, saving men who curse our names but forget his mama is made of steel too. And now the pot has no words but calls the kettle bitter, but loves the glass pan, the fine china, loves all the exotic shit white men put behind glass casings, loves how fragile things not made of steel can be. But this isn't about the pot or the pan. This is about the kettle, the black woman, how she pours herself across the earth, but no one bats an eye when the water disappears. We give ourselves to men who never love us, but they say we are difficult, too hard to break. How we, the kettle, praise this pot, this man for all the water he holds. How we are the only ones who do not call him monster when the water boils over, because we know this heat, this white flame, hot enough to make any of us explode. We are the first ones to make noise when the world goes up in flames, but they say the earth was saved by the man who heard her scream. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says yes, but says you best remember you black too. The next time they bring a fire to your neck, they burn black bodies on the stake and the stove. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says, bitch, I might be. Says, knock if you buck, then says, wipe me down. Kettle says, yes, my nigga, I be black, I be mad, and I boiled the last man down to his bones when he tried to test me. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says, hell yes. But don't say my name as if you ain't ever been burnt too.
Pathological lying. It's not considered a mental disorder. Instead, it's observed as a behavioral disturbance that's present inside of other disorders like antisocial personality disorder and some brain disorders like Korsakoff syndrome, which is brain damage from alcohol. Pathological lying used to be called pseudologia fantastica. I like saying that. And it referred to people who told multiple outrageous lies that would border on the fantastic. And those were more than just simple lies. These would include elaborate details that seem questionably believable. And when you challenge the person on the details, they tell even more lies to make the story work. The motive behind the lying wasn't always clear. And sometimes it was just to impress people. Some people start to believe their lies and have trouble even knowing what the truth is. Believe it or not, for some people, it can become like ordinary talk. And they don't even see themselves as spinning a lot of lies. They just see it as talking, like storytelling. And what's wrong with storytelling?
What is up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Black-owned business grants and where you can find them. So grants are free money. That's right, free money. Comment free money down below in the comments. Okay. We all love some free money, especially when you don't have to pay it back. And that's exactly what a grant is. So I'll be going over with you how you can find them and some key tips for ways to win. So grab your notebook, grab a pen, and let's get into these gems.
Ellie talks money to create the better days. Business, money, life, the Ellie way.
All right, y'all, welcome back into the video. So grants are a great way to fund your business without taking out debt, especially if you are maybe not in a situation to do so, or you don't have the best business credit or personal credit. Getting grants is a great way to still get funding into your business despite all those circumstances. So I love grants because they're free money. Again, you do not need to pay this back. This is money that is given to your business off the strength of the mission and vision of your business. And these organizations and corporations that I'm going to share with you believing in your business. So one of the first places that you can go to find Black-owned business grants or minority-owned business grants overall. And let me define minority. So minority means, 50% or more Black-owned or person of color owned, as well 50% or more women owned. A woman owned business is considered a minority owned business. And so if you fall into those categories, Hispanic, Latino, Pacific Islander, then you are able to qualify as a minority owned business.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to listen close. If you are looking for a grant or looking to start a business, lend a strong ear. This might help you. This is Ellie Talks Money. I repeat, Ellie Talks Money.
Now, you can find these at the Minority Business Development Agency, which is also the mbda.gov. And this exists in pretty much every major city. You can find an MBDA chapter. This is going to be a great place not only for you to find grants that are available in your city and state, but as well, they do connect you with other capital and funding opportunities that typically are lower barrier to entry because their purpose is to fund minority owned businesses. And if you guys know a little bit about funding or you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm super passionate about this because women-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses, and minority-owned businesses overall typically get significantly less capital than any other business, period. And so because of that, there are lots of organizations and, state and government programs that are designed specifically to make sure that if the playing field is leveled when it comes to funding. And the MBDA is one of those. Now, you can also find great grants for minority-owned businesses and Black-owned businesses at grants.gov. Now, the key to navigating this, though, is making sure that you register with sam.gov, sam.gov, as a minority-owned business so that you can be alerted and invited to apply to certain minority-owned opportunities that come on grants.gov. Grants.gov is literally a huge grant platform with thousands and thousands and thousands of grants. So it can definitely be a lot to navigate if you're just searching blankly. But a great way to kind of get ahead and get the inside scoop is to make sure you register at sam.gov as a minority owned business. And then you are able to take advantage of a few more business grants for Black owned businesses and minority owned businesses. Now, I also want to make sure that you guys are aware that a lot of private grants, such as, Wells Fargo, Visa, FedEx, American Express has a grant that is specifically for women-owned businesses and women of color owned businesses that you can apply for. And I'm going to list a few more of these in the description as well, so you guys can just click and go. But those are very popular and present. I don't want you guys to think the only place to get government grants or grants in general is through the government. A lot of companies offer them because you know why? Grants are a tax write-off to those companies. So when American Express or Walmart or Wells Fargo or Bank of America are giving away these grants at the end of the year, and a large part of it is because it's a tax benefit to them. Because they're giving this free money to other businesses, they're able to claim that as a tax deduction. So it's a win-win situation. And that's why you'll see a lot of major companies have, grant or giving back programs where they can, of course.
I'm serious, y'all. This is something to get on top of. This is something to think about. If you are going to start a new business, she is breaking it down. Ellie is breaking it down for you right this minute. Keep listening.
Raise their public image and as well benefit on the tax side and support small businesses. So it's a win-win-win-win. And that last win is for you when you win the grant. So a couple others that I want you guys to pay attention to, and I have my notes here that I'm looking at, is the Coalition to Back Black Businesses. This coalition is literally supplying $14 million in minority grants. And the coalition is made up of different companies like American Express, ADP, AIG, the S&P Global Foundation, and they are giving away grants every fall, anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000. Now, this is specifically for Black-owned businesses, so it's an amazing opportunity for those of you out there that are listening. Another that I wrote down for you is the National Black MBA Association that has a Scale Up Pitch Challenge. Now, this is going to be for those of you who don't get stage fright, because you do need to pitch in front of a panel, but the award is about $50,000, which is amazing. And the great thing is this is every year and it's a national competition. And most recently, the theme was making ideas bigger.
Let me pause that right there. If there's anything, since it appears that Black men, we do not want to provide protection, the best protection you can have is by having a stable environment and a nice, safe area and getting the funding, especially if you want to run your own business. These are some great ideas. I do not want to play the rest of this video because I think you really should go to the video holders channel for more information. We will be having more live streams and more videos in reference to independence and self-sufficiency. And this is, you yourself might be sufficient and independent and all that, but you may know somebody who is not, or you may know somebody who may need, who's a little bit, who could use a little help. This is the way to do it. This is one of the grants are the way to do it. It's it's free money, but it's not. You're gonna still have to work hard, and the grant's not gonna be quite enough. They never really are, but they can really get you started if you got your plan down. But what I strongly suggest is that you get your business plan ironclad, perfect. I mean, when they hear your business plan, they are lining up to give you that money because they know they got something that's they can brag about. That's how banks like to do. They're going to come back to you and say, "Hey, can we do a commercial about your successful business and that how we helped you and blah 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 and see how it works for both people?" So it's not a hand me down. It's not a free money. It's either free advertising for them or a write off. You heard what she said. We're going to get a little bit closer to our main event, but let's keep going like this.
And women love conditionally, meaning that a man can see a woman and no matter what walk of life she comes from, and no matter not only what walk of life she comes from, he can be a billionaire and he'll marry a nanny.
Right. Yeah.
Because
that's not true anymore. But let's keep going. Let's hear his case.
Of unconditionally. They'll look at you and love you and marry you however you are. However,
this is so untrue, especially when you go in contrast to all the conditions that the Kevin Samuels cult was putting on Black women. They were looking for conditions such as appearance, weight, whether you did everything that man wanted you to do without question, being obedient, basically being what a slave owner would want. I'm not going to say, you saying that Black men want slaves. No, just saying that basically a lot of Kevin Samuelites want exactly what a slave owner would want. So there are conditions. So already, whoever this guy is, and believe me, as I say, this is a blind reaction. Whoever this guy is, he's always, in my opinion, starting off pretty weak.
It's different when it comes to a woman. A woman loves conditionally. Let me prove your conditions. Would you marry someone if you had the bag and they didn't have the bag, but they had what you needed emotionally?
Yeah. I'm so tired of these freaking false narratives and incel philosophies that these men are trying to spin to
Me too. Usually people who don't have money don't have character or stability either. That's why they don't have money.
Manipulate women, and more importantly, Black women that have something going for themselves, to accept bottom of the barrel, low-hanging men. Now, this bloated buffoon is over here saying that men love unconditionally and women don't, and men will just take women as they are. Now, he's saying that successful men will talk to a nanny or a broke woman, and that shows unconditional love. No, that just shows that y'all just don't care if women have money or not. Because ask the majority of successful men, will they take an overweight woman, an ugly woman, a bald woman, a woman with kids that are not his?
In the house, Trixie Kincaid, good seeing you.
Then now, all of a sudden, there are some magic conditions that appear. So I know that y'all are not saying that men who make up 90% of the demographic who leave their sick or terminal spouses unconditional lovers. Stop the games. Seriously. But y'all want to shame women for being successful and not wanting to pay all the bills or take care of a man. I'm so tired of y'all pathetic see-through attempts at manipulation and to get Black women to settle for the bare minimum. Everyone has stipulations and conditions on relationships, marriages, etc., etc. Please stop using all of these tactics to attempt to get Black women to be your mother, wife, and husband all at the same time. It's disgusting, and you're not fooling anybody. But I digress. If y'all enjoyed this video, drop a 2 in the comments, and you already know why, because what he was saying was boo, boo. And if you guys can donate to my Cash App above to help support the live, or my channel, that's no problem at all. Just do me a free favor and subscribe.
Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe on Protect Black Women. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe in this channel as well. The Urbanista breaks it down like this. Most people marry within their socioeconomic group, except Black people, and specifically Black women. I wonder why. Let's go to the next video.
This is a real life example of boy math. This is also an example of FAFO. These people are really in their find out era, their find out season, where they tell a woman that they don't want something and women are like, I bet. So this man sends $100 to a woman asking to be unblocked. He don't want to leave things on a bad note. And he's doing little prayer emojis. How did we get there? Okay, so this woman says, did you have something else to say? I want to reiterate, I left with no ill will towards you and wished you well.
Let me pause this right here. Go Glow in the house. Go Glow breaks it down like this. Nobody but Glocktavius and Hood Rats followed Kevin Samuels when he was alive. By the way, he passed away. And because he didn't take care of his own health, he should have been following some health and fitness advice, which we will get tomorrow. More noon tomorrow. So just check out the video. Anyway, let me keep on. These was the same Gen Xers that bullied you and your educated friends in middle school and high school. Exactly that. They have not changed. Not one bit. Go Glow. Thank you.
And then the man with the smiley face that I kind of scribbled over. He says, thank you for unblocking me. I appreciate it. I just want us to not be on bad terms. I also want to say I'm sorry. I know I have broken your trust too many times. I understand you don't want to talk. I have a lot of issues. I'll sort them out. I don't want to drag you through the process. I hope I can start to build trust again, but also not being blocked is enough. I hope you understand I don't want to talk much either. I also need some space. I am doing well. I hope you are well. She re-blocked him after this. This was completely unnecessary. These people simply don't know. Like, she blocked him for a reason. It was very kind of her to unblock him, but he didn't say anything. She said, I had no ill will towards you. So what is we doing here, bruh? The woman who sent me these screenshots is a friend of the woman who's responding. And I'm like, what led to this? So this is what happened. This man told her he wasn't looking for anything serious and got mad when she started to see someone else.
Shout out to Columbus Hill in the house. Salute to DJ Torch and friends. Good seeing you in the hill. In the hill. Yeah, in the house, in the hill, Columbus Hill. Here we go.
Is boy math. You don't want to see them. So you subtract yourself from the situation. She adds another person instead. And then that equals him being upset. And then this subscriber calls him a homosexual. And then I said, they are truly in their find out season. I love that for them. And she says they're flailing. I feel like there is a cultural shift of the homosexual right now. In the olden times, they'd commit because they knew they have a place to lay their head at night. The current era of homosexuals wants to have their cake and eat it too. That's also boy math. They want to stay in your bed and not pay rent and also not commit. This is all boy math. They want to be a liability, but they don't bring anything else to the proverbial table that they consistently talk about. This is boy math. This is a complex equation that we're talking about. This is boy algebra or boy geometry, whichever one you want to talk about. Now, since we are talking boy math, I was also sent more examples. I was sent a lot of examples, and I'll probably have to do another one of these videos because I made a video and I got lots of comments regarding boy math. So the women in my networks, both here on TikTok and YouTube, are hilarious and witty, and y'all need to see some of their commentary. But first, let's look at some of these screenshots, which were compiled from the Twitter. I've seen this one before, but it's still hilarious. Baby daddies at 11 p.m. on a random Wednesday trying to impress their new girlfriend. I want to talk to my child. The boy math part is they're calling at 11 p.m. knowing that they probably haven't sent over their child support. Boy math is adding 563 provisions to restrict reproductive care while subtracting 3.2 million childcare spots. Yes, political boy math. Boy math is saying they hate 50-50 custody when they only have their kids on weekends and alternating holidays. This is a good one. Boy math is knowing the age of consent in every country. Boy math is
Yes,
thinking because
yes, that's a good one. No, these guys get creepy. They be finding out like countries where 12, 13, 14-year-olds are age of consent or something like that. And they be knowing that. I know one dude who does that all the time. Let me bring up one guy. I'm gonna give you a very good hint. A very good hint of who this person is. Let's go. Yeah. Here we go. Very quick. Here we go. We're getting back to the show, though.
if you're not a nice guy, you deserve to be her boyfriend. Yeah, 1 + 1 = 2, but in this case, it does not equal a boyfriend. Boy math is liking a girl when she's sexy in her little short skirt, but wanting her to dress like a 70-year-old English teacher when you get together. This is another good one. Boy math is wanting 0 kids, but having 0 condoms on hand. Boy math is having 12 bodies and only having consent from 5. I will end it on that. Like I said, the women in my network are very witty. I am appreciative of the people that send me screenshots, send me stories. Thank you so much. If you guys have any comments, you want to leave your boy math examples, I will get to them. I'm going to deep dive into my comment section probably tomorrow. You guys go ahead, like, comment, share. And if you are enjoying my videos and you haven't yet hit that follow button, go ahead and hit the follow button.
Okay.
Phone calls from jail. Shirley Strawberry and her lifetime criminal husband, Ernestio.
This is hot off the presses. I don't know if you already know, but this is going to be a short one here because I'm not going to go through all 34 minutes of this. But I just wanted you guys to hear it. This is from Janice Hilton. Here we go.
They just be running their lips. So I know you guys been waiting. So I know I'm behind. So what I'm doing is I'm working backwards. So the last jail calls that was just uploaded by phone calls from prison, I'm doing that one, and then I'm going to work my way backwards, okay? Because I know y'all been messaging me, girl, you got to hear this. What you got to say about this? I am still laying in the bed. I don't feel like getting up. I did get up this morning doing chores with little Michael, and I'm back in the bed. So I figure I'm going to just do this, and then I'm going to do Love is Blind. So come on back and check for Love is Blind. I absolutely love you. I adore you. Please be sure to thumbs up, share this out if you can. Remember, all of my books are available on Amazon. Your way to show me love and support. 23 types of guys you might meet. You meet them. You don't have to marry them. Okay.
Okay. There she goes. There's Janice Hilton. She got herself. I don't know who she is. So this is a blind reaction. We're gonna see where this goes.
Okay. The Naked Wife. Shirley Strawberry is a naked wife. And I want to remind you, this is a learning channel. Ladies, we want to learn from those who have gone on before us so we don't make a mess of our lives. I know some people are in their feelings and they're upset about me talking about Shirley Strawberry. But if I can save one young woman from being a foolish woman, a dum-dum, I'm going to do it. Okay, so let's listen and see what phone calls from jail is saying. And my face on my picture should say it all, okay? Thank you guys. Thumbs up, share this out. Road to 30,000 by October 10. October 11 is my birthday. So I would really love to hit this by October 10. So share it out. Invite someone to come and support me. Thank you. Okay, let's hear what they're going to say.
This video contains 2 calls between Shirley Strawberry and Ernesto. The second call...
Okay, let's keep going. Bottom line is, she broke. So, you know, I don't know what's worse, Ernesto's or Bandits. Because, and we know that Ernesto is a bandit, but is Ernesto a heavy-duty bandit? You know, or what? Well, anyway, let's keep this going. This is and right on time. Strike down misogyny. You came in at the perfect time. Good to see you. Good to see the Urbanista in the house. Columbus Hill in the house. Go Glow in the house. Trixie Kincaid, Conscious Mind Love, Creative Solutions, First Square. We are going to do this tonight. And I can't forget the betterment of Black women. So, I know I played Godfrey earlier today, but things he said will mix in wonderfully with the I'm the PhD theme. So check this out here.
Stick to telling jokes on your mic. I said, yeah, that's what I do, you numbskull. So she tried to come at me with that, and I said, you have a sociology degree. You shouldn't talk to anybody. You should keep your mouth shut.
Wait, let me stop. So what Godfrey is trying to do, in my interpretation, is shame a woman who has a sociology degree. I looked up how much a sociology degree earlier today makes, and it's damn near 6 figures. You might as well call it 6 figures. It was like 98, 99, 50 or something like that. That was, and that was the median, I believe. And the high could get us into 2s, depending on what you do. So listen to this idiot right here.
And this is not to put down people who are in sociology, but you came at me calling me uneducated. That's what she came at me, calling me uneducated with a sociology degree.
Okay, let me put it this way. He does have some education, but not as much as she did. It's that simple. What I find is this. I mean, let me let him talk more, because he's not done yet.
Wow, I said Chick-fil-A is hiring. Get the out of here.
Then he called her a B. And he's thinking that, okay, I'm not going to come off like a misogynist.
Chick-fil-A is hiring with your sociology degree. And the thing is I didn't call anybody on a thing. I said, let me not call anybody.
To me, disrespecting somebody for having a sociology degree is like disrespecting for somebody having a brand new BMW. It doesn't make sense.
Nope, no nothing. I used animals. I said, you mongoose.
Look at him. How he has women in his subscriptions, I will never know. He's a funny guy, I assume.
I was calling them mongooses and leeches and because they were talking so.
Wow. Okay. You can see the rest of this on my, on my misogyny video I did earlier today. We're going to move forward though. But as you can see, he ain't cool. He ain't cool. The dudes will give him a pass because dudes do that, but not me. I'm like, look, if you were talking to one of my family members, you know, who are women, or if you were talking to my daughter who's a woman, or if you were talking to a friend who was a woman like that, I'd be like, fuck you. Excuse me for saying that. But anyway, I would be saying that to him. Let me keep going.
What did your husband say about this? Did y'all discuss it?
No, I'm not married. I would not choose. I would not choose to date into something like that. Like, I choose to be single.
Okay.
I'm a PhD.
Okay, congratulations.
He rolled for that, baby.
That's Dee Dee in the background laughing. Dee Dee has a reason to laugh because I guess she thinks that her married life is better than a woman who has a PhD and might be living her best life as well. But let's keep it going.
My issue again is that he did not have to juxtapose his successes against Black women. It's just entirely unnecessary.
So, do you hold this same position for Black women when they're speaking about themselves?
Certainly.
So, Black women who talk about themselves, they should never bring up Black men and juxtapose their accomplishments against Black men.
I don't think it's healthy.
No, that's not what I asked. What did your husband say about this? Did y'all discuss it?
No, I'm not married. I would not choose. I would not choose to date into something like that. Like, I choose to be single.
Okay.
I'm a PhD.
Okay, congratulations. But that was unnecessary, right?
Nope. Because
no. You just know, ma'am. I just asked you about
Now
marriage.
he's using the talk over. He's using the talk over. See, the thing about this is what I've learned. Educated women and educated people in general are expecting a certain level of decorum when they're in either a debate or a conversation. But what I find is that there are a certain level of humanity that use the talkover strategy when they know they're intellectually outgunned. She is clearly more smart. She is clearly more intelligent than Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels is a great gamer. He can game people, but he's not really that smart. And it shows right here, because he really, if he had decorum, he would have let this educated woman finish what she was saying and then made his retort. You know, it reminds me of this item right here. Let me see if I can bring it up.
What's the matter? Oh, you were finished. Oh, well, allow me to retort.
That's how you do it. That is how you do it. Let's listen to a little bit more.
I just asked you about marriage, and you juxtaposed it against your education.
Yes.
That's
because
unnecessary.
I'm trying to give you context.
That's unnecessary.
I'm giving you context about the prize.
Gonna get good. This is brought to you by T-Salt. Hit the like, do the subscribe. Let's get into the breakdown of this. Okay, let me move this back here because we need to let T-Salt get her love. Here we go.
Please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload a video. Please also hit the thumbs up or down button to let me know which direction to go for future videos. Thanks. If you've listened to any of Kevin Samuels' interviews, he uses sound effects. And one of the sound effects is of a Black woman that he had on his show where he got emotional like he often does, so much so that he made a sound effect of her voice saying, "I'm a PhD." This is the conversation where she was on the panel And no, he couldn't engage in an adult conversation. And yes, he did have a meltdown.
No, I'm not married. I would not choose. I would not choose to date into something like that. I got to choose to be single.
Okay.
I'm a PhD.
Okay, congratulations.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Go ahead. What am I missing here?
A lot actually.
Okay.
I was just, I'm just listening to
Miss PhD has a very pretty voice, in my opinion. Let me keep it going.
the conversation. I think it's quite interesting. I'll say this. For one, if you have to say that you're a prize, then you probably aren't.
Why?
Just to start.
Why?
People who are prizes, you don't have to necessarily go around flaunting that.
Hold on, ma'am. I have to. This is a dialogue. All he said was he was the
Right,
prize.
I wasn't
Hold
finished.
on. Well, this is a dialogue, so
Right. If
this
it's
is
a dialogue, Kevin, then why don't you wait until she's done making her statement? See, I'm glad I'm doing this because right now he's wrong. If it's a dialogue is she talks, you wait till she's done. You talk, she waits till you're done. You don't interrupt. That's what the definition of a dialogue is. What it is what she's saying is got you already on your heels and you need to stop that shit. So you interrupted her. Rudely, by the way. Let me keep going.
I'm gonna go. All he said is he was the prize, and that because of where he is. He didn't flaunt it. Did you read what he wrote?
He said he is a prize. That's flaunting, dude. If I say I am the prize, there's no other option but to say that I'm flaunting. I don't see. If I did that, I wouldn't because it sounds stupid. But if I did do that, I'm sorry. Let me break it down. Let me update the flaunt to I'm flossing. Let me keep it going right now.
I did. Respectfully, I wasn't finished.
Well,
and that's why I
respectfully,
was
ma'am.
trying
Yeah, exactly. And so see, it's wow. Here we go.
This is my show, and this is how it's going
Yes,
to
Now
go.
it's your show. So you first said you wanted dialogue, and now it's your show, so you can just be rude anytime you want to be rude. Now I understand what you're saying. It is your show, but you said you wanted dialogue. Now, if you wanted to say that you wanted to control the narrative, then that would be different. We would all understand.
If you wanted a dialogue,
Well,
the issues
okay.
that I
Here's one
had
thing
was
that's not going to happen.
necessarily what
Here's
you're
one thing
saying
that's
that
not
is
going to.
pride.
Here's one thing that's not going to happen. This is my show. You're going to respect my show as it is, or you are
This
not.
is one thing that's not going to happen. He's not going to get embarrassed on his own show because that's where it was going. He almost graduated. She did. He doesn't have a PhD. She does. It's that simple. I mean, I'm sorry. The thing about this, and don't get me wrong, there are some people who can have, educational paperwork and not be that smart. But a PhD is pretty hard to get. So it's pretty clear that they're already out. There's already he's already overmatched. But like I said, he's a gamer and he worked that. Watch. Right. How can a black man even be the prize unless he is Obama or a Nobel Peace Prize nuclear physicist? They are delusional. Trixie!
Not going to talk to me.
Is that is juxtaposed. His success is
Did you hear
juxtaposed
me?
against Black women. Yes, can you hear me?
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, did you hear what I said?
No, I muted you because you were talking
Okay.
over me, and that's rude when you come onto someone's platform. I'm running
So
five.
what?
Because it was Kevin who interrupted her and then started talking shit. Okay. But yet he's calling her rude. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yolanda's Thinking Knowledge Thomas says this. I remember the days when only women would throw hissy fits and spaz out in conversation. I'm still not over hearing these manly estrogen-laden tirades. Trying hard to sustain false masculinity. Boom.
Said.
Did you understand
So
what I said?
was,
Did you understand what I said, ma'am?
yeah, I think maybe there's a lag.
Okay, do you understand that? Okay, there's
So the most intelligent things Kevin says right now is, do you understand? Let that sink in.
the lag. So what I need you to do is if I start talking, please, I'm saying something for a reason. Don't just talk over me.
No, you're saying something to interrupt her. She was talking, you asked a question, she was answering, you interrupted. It's that simple. It's that simple. It really is that simple.
Right, but you cut me off. So
That's
go
okay.
ahead.
I can do that. I run the show.
See there? This is classic red pill right here. Misogyny at its best. Somebody who is mentally superior to him and he's berating her. It's amazing.
If that's a problem,
well,
then you
what
don't
was your
need to be
question?
here.
But you asked me a question.
And I'm
right?
going to
You asked
continue
me
to
a
ask you
question?
questions.
Okay. So what's your question?
I said that he only said he was the prize once. He didn't pound his chest or didn't drone on about it.
He still said it, dude. If somebody says they are the prize, they are flossing or they are flaunting. It's that simple.
So you mischaracterized what he said.
No, you mischaracterized what he said. You mischaracterized the whole statement he made.
No, I didn't. That was not my issue that I took with the post. May I continue?
Yes.
Okay. So the issue is that he juxtaposed his success against Black women. What's wrong with simply just being successful?
He juxtaposed it against the women who are going to be, he's going to be out here dating. What did he say about Black women that was incorrect? Actually wrong.
I think that he made several generalized statements about what Black women think or believe,
ma'am,
and what we want.
Ma'am,
yes?
No. What he did is he quoted facts, statistics, and data that can be pulled readily from a website called blackdemographics.com.
Blackdemographics.com is literally an opinion site. I don't mind the site because, it kind of edges, the stats towards what? Black men, right? Makes us look good, right? To the rest of the world, right? But no, it's other than that, it's really, quite honestly, it could be torn apart. Site itself. And what I mean by torn apart is somebody could pick out certain aspects of the stats and find loopholes or questions. Let's just put it that way.
.com, and these facts are not in question.
And see, notice how he's using somebody's website that was built. It's literally a guy's website. It's not even really a company website. It's not like the USDA or nothing. It's just a website. It's some guy's website.
Let's start with blackdemographics.com and Kevin's facts. Blackdemographics.com is a privately owned website, not a governmental run site. So whoever owns it can state whatever data it wishes and can skew the facts in whatever direction it wants. This woman, Tiffany, answers his questions, but because he doesn't like her answer, he starts to get upset and does what he always does, talks over her and won't let her speak. He's trying so hard to get her to agree with him that he won't let her get her original disagreement out. And of course, he resorts to his same tactics of using his mute button. And you'll notice throughout this conversation, he keeps going back to the woman named Daisha because she said she was nervous to talk to him. And she seems very quiet and meek in her tone. And this is the only type of woman Kevin Samuels seems to be able to relate to. In order for Kevin Samuels to feel like a man, the woman has to lower herself. And if she doesn't, he loses control.
Shout out to the Kang Hitter Show, Chaos Reign Show, Yolando's Seeking Knowledge Thomas, Kevin, the Lifestyle Guy, Trixie Kincaid, Go Glow, the Urbanista, Columbus Hill, Strike Down Misogyny, Conscious Mind Love, Creative Solutions, Alexander Brandon. Let's keep it rolling.
He did, but the
So
issue
what is
that
wrong
you
about
don't-
saying
you
those?
don't have
So
to-
what is wrong about saying those things?
He's created a narrative that his success somehow has to be juxtaposed against Black women.
You
It's
didn't
just
answer my
simply not
question.
necessary.
You didn't answer my
I
question.
did answer your question.
So by saying that Black women,
Kevin just doesn't know when somebody's answering a question because her level of education and his are quite skewed. When you're smart like she is, and when you're emulating intelligent like he is, this happens.
typically don't want to date down. Is that true or false?
What's his definition of dating down? Having a JD does not
dating
mean
down.
that's
If you're going to
dating
ask me a question, I'm going to answer. Dating down is Black women tend to want a man who has at least what she has educationally and in income wise. Dating down would be somebody is hold on. Dating down would mean dating down would mean you're a college educated woman and you're dating a non-college educated man. That could be considered dating down. Dating down could mean you're making one income and the man you're dating is making less than you. Those are two examples.
Now I'm going to add something in here. In the house, by the way, is Sassafras. Okay. Dating down can also be a moral thing too. Dating down can be dating a man that doesn't have the same moral qualities and fiber that you may have. Like, he might have a BA, you might have a BA, you both might make the same kind of money, but his moral fiber, let's just say, is questionable and yours is not. I mean, his is questionable and yours is not. Yeah. So there's different ways of dating down. Financial is just one of them. But you know, on Kevin's shallow channel, basically they just went over monies and looks. Really, when you think about it, when you think about the Kevin Samuels channel, it really was just about money and looks. That's what it was. Think about it. They graded women from 1 to 10. Can't use 7. Okay. And then they went into the whole spiel about sexual value, right? Marketplace. That is nothing to do but with looks and access to men. I mean, access to women. And 3 was money. Here's the ironic thing. He touted this high value man thing, knowing it's some unicorn shit when it comes to the Black community. Black men, we just don't have it like that. To the amount of Black women that there are, we are literally unicorns being a high value man. He was the one who said that the average Black man makes 43.5. So what for man making 43.5, okay, deserves a highly educated woman who is an 8, okay, and is under 30. Exactly.
But right now he has potential. He doesn't have a job.
You
right?
asked about dating down. We're not going to move the ball. He just said
No,
black
I'm
women
saying that your definition of dating down.
don't. Sugar P, what's going on? See,
Hello.
well, let me say something, Daisha.
Mhm.
Let me tell you one thing. If you want to get what you want to get out of life, what you just saw happen cannot help you. You cannot be
Okay,
combative.
this is coming from a guy right now who's passed away. Wasn't the best husband, wasn't the best father. $900 a month, $900 a month, $900 a month. That's how much he was making for most of his life. Talking to a woman who probably started, she's 6 figures. She's 6 figures. Let's keep it going.
With men, just because you disagree. And when someone's trying to talk to you, you cannot just talk over them and disrespect them. You said you're a little bit nervous because you're talking to me and my 50,000 subscribers and my 500 people watching.
Now he's trying to floss 50,000 subscribers and 500,000. So what? I mean, it's great now. I mean, it's great. I'm happy for your success, but that doesn't make you a better man. Okay. It obviously didn't make you a better man.
Woman who's talking to me like I ain't shit. To the point
he's onto something.
We can't even have a conversation with somebody who comes to my show.
Who can have a conversation with somebody who interrupts the woman when she's talking and trying to finish her point, and then you interrupt her because you know she's getting the intellectual up on you, okay, and it's making you look bad.
Oh, no, you're gonna check the shit. So we can try this again, Tiffany. If you like to speak and be on the panel with everybody else, please try to do like everybody else on the panel. No one else has a problem with this but you.
What, you mean shut up? What? Shut up? Not say anything? Be obedient to somebody he sees intellectually superior to? I'm surprised Deja stayed on, but I think she probably had a plan. Let's see what it is.
What is it that you believe that I have a problem with?
It seems that you have a problem with the way that I run the panel.
No, I don't have a problem with how you run the panel. You asked me a question, I was trying to answer it. And I think that you're going off in a direction that is not actually, part of what I was actually thinking. And so then we start having a conversation about something that I wasn't trying to have a conversation on because it wasn't my
but
belief.
that's not what you want to have a conversation on. The respect, ma'am, is not the point. The point is, he said what he said. I just JD. I've entered a new arena for black men. In this arena, I'm now the prize. Don't take my word for it. We're all on the same page. I know you don't like the way it's being said, but we got to be on the same page. Are you saying the black women?
You're right, Yolando's $900 a month. That's not even rent. But it does pay the light bill. It does pay the light bill.
Do want to date down or don't want to date down?
I would say that a lot of black women would choose to date a man that respects
you want
them
to date
a man that
ma'am,
makes more
can
and
you answer the
disrespects
question
them.
okay, we're going to do this one more time. If you don't want to answer the questions as they go, I'm going to put you off the panel.
I mean, I've answered your question.
No, you haven't.
Sir. I haven't answered it the way that you want me to,
and that's
but
a
I have
problem.
answered the question.
And that's a problem. And ultimately, it's a problem, man.
I'm answering your questions.
Well,
okay.
I consider it
if
a
you want to
counselor.
put me off the panel,
Counselor, I consider it to be unresponsive. see, Daisha.
Wait, let me pause it for 1 second. Darnell, are you there? Okay, I just want to make sure that you're there. I want to make sure that I wasn't getting photobombed or anything.
I was turning my lights on.
I'm questioning her like I'm cross-examining.
Indiana mom in the house.
And I would say, Judge, permission to treat the witnesses hostile. And I would say, you're being unresponsive. See, I'm good at what I do. And the fact
That's just funny to me. He's the one being hostile. She has not raised her voice to him at all. I truly do believe, though, she's enjoying herself. I can see why she got under his skin. Because she was actually enjoying it, and he knows it. Because basically, as he had to keep using her voice clip just to get over how he got roasted. Because she's roasting her right now. She's roasting him right now. It just doesn't seem that way because you would have to understand what's going on. Here we go.
The matter is your positions are full of crap.
She hasn't even made a position yet, to be honest with you. He hasn't let her finish.
This is supposed to be a conversation, a discussion, or even a debate. But muting her and cross-examining her like they're in a courtroom, then not allowing her to speak, is just bullying the conversation. Kevin doesn't know how to relate to a woman who challenges him, and he gets very emotional when this Black woman stands strong in her position. He's going to say she's being combative, but all she's doing is disagreeing with him.
Why is it hard for you to understand that
not
a
just
man
me.
that is
It's not just me.
abusive
It's other
or
people on the
arrogant-
panel.
Notice how he didn't let her finish? He hasn't let her finish a sentence yet.
Or people that you haven't muted then?
Because you're the only ones being combative.
See, this is what happens when you date down. You get the same behavior that Kevin Samuels is expressing right now. You get that exact same behavior because they will continue to interrupt you and whatever because they know that at the end of the day, you're not going to win the argument because when somebody's smarter than you, they've already figured out what they need to do. So you're gonna argue over, let's say you both are going out to buy a car. The more intelligent person usually will come out finding the best value because they just have that type of aptitude. That's what's going on right here. Let me keep it going.
I'm not being combative.
Okay,
I'm
you're
speaking
right.
my mind.
You're
If I
right.
don't agree
You're
with you,
right. You're right.
right?
You're answering. You're being perfectly respectable. You're answering the questions directly. You are doing it. All right, sis, I'm wrong. It's me.
What if you were though?
Yeah.
He finally said something that's right.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It is me.
Okay.
With this massive criteria, Black women, that Black women don't want in dating a Black man.
You can tell that he why he probably got a divorce. I think he's borderline abusive now. So think about him behind closed doors. I mean, think about it. I mean, really.
They have essentially drastically limited the dating pool of viable Black men. Is that true or false?
Are you addressing me?
Yes.
What's your definition of viability?
Ladies, you see the problem here?
Yes.
You see the problem here? Now we're gonna debate the definition.
Oh, here comes the mammies.
Is. And this is how we're
No,
this
but
is how
viability.
we're supposed to actually interact with Black women and try to
Exactly. Strike down misogyny. He is looking for some way to shame or talk down to her. Exactly.
actually build relationships and build communities.
Community requires communication.
No. Communication, and that means what? That we do what you want to do?
Oh, Negro, please. Anyway, let me read this. Trixie Kincaid breaks it down like this. I believe Kevin Samuels was illiterate and couldn't read. No wonder he didn't read the warning sign on the back of the Red Bull drink that said, don't take over 2 a day, especially if you're over 35. Oh, man. Okay, let's keep this going.
because you came onto my show and you don't even want to try to operate according to what I'm doing. And I'm using this as an object lesson. Now I asked you what is viable. I said that to drastically limit the pool of viable men. Viable according to education, criminal record, sexual orientation, everything that the brother outlined. And you're going to actually say what makes viable.
Okay, so you're based off of that definition of viability, yes, but that is not my definition.
Ma'am, we're not debating your definition of viability. We're debating the man's post, not what you think of. We're just making sure we're on the same page. Okay.
Right, but the issue that you think I have with the post is not the issue.
Oh, he muted her.
You see why 70% of these women go unmarried. Okay, what did your husband say about this?
What?
What did your husband say about this? Did y'all discuss it?
No, I'm not married.
Here comes the single shaming. Here we go, folks. Get ready.
I would not choose. I would not choose to date into something like that. I choose to be single.
Okay.
I'm a PhD.
Simply, you're not married. What did your boyfriend and or the man in your life say about this?
Say about what specifically?
This conversation, because you're having it with me, so I'm assuming you had it with him.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely does not think that it was an appropriate way of communicating.
Is he around?
And there's a lot of men that he's in here.
Okay. Would he mind getting on with you?
He's in here. I don't know if Emmanuel, are you on here?
Because people have asked for guys to get on.
All right, in the house, we got Tevin, the Urbanista, Yolandos, Trixie, Sassafras, Benji Matsu, and Bridget. Keep going.
Yeah, he's aware. He's aware.
Yeah, because nothing this man said, nothing in this prize said, I'm the prize, and now black women are going to have. He didn't insult black women in anything. So let me ask.
Insulted black women's intelligence. I'll say that much. To say you're the prize, you don't need to say you're the prize if you're the prize.
And now black women are going to have. He didn't insult black women in anything. So let me ask a question.
Well,
let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. How and when should black men be able to discuss some of the issues that black women have with finding a viable mate?
Right after you have the conversation about viability and what that means, and if that should actually mean what it is.
Talk to me like I'm 4. Don't use so many words.
Okay. So for me, viability would not necessarily mean a specific degree. It does not mean certain dollar figures on your check. It would have a lot more to do with character. It would have to do with how they communicate, especially when they're angry. It would have a lot to do with their integrity. So if you have all of these things going for yourself, but you don't have some of these other things, you to me are not necessarily viable.
So when should black
men?
There
are some women.
Hold on.
Very interesting. What do you think so far, Darnell?
Yeah, I was just taking some notes.
Okay.
So far, I kind of joined the show a little late, so I'm kind of, I guess you could say I'm
okay. Well, we can keep it going, and we'll chat later.
Yes, sir.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
So when should black men be able to have that conversation?
You say as black men?
No, when should black men be able to have that conversation?
You can have whatever conversation you want. But if you believe that your viability is based off of your credentials, you're likely to attract a person that's going to judge you based off of those credentials. But I would hope you'd want something more for yourself.
So black men judge black men based off of the things you said. Character, integrity.
Men judge.
Excuse me. In mass. So when black women are asked on relationship panels and magazines and videos and anything that any of us can see, what they're looking for in a mate, where does character tend to rank with black women?
And who do you believe are the producers of
Ma'am,
these
I asked
media
you a
outlets? Are
direct
Black
question.
women the ones who are
Ma'am,
producing them?
unresponsive. I asked you a
Well, if
direct
you're,
question.
but you're,
And, okay, I'm going to mute you. I asked you a direct question, and it is unresponsive and rude to answer a question with a question. Where does character rank in these discussions with Black women?
well, those aren't discussions with Black women.
I made it very clear. I'll ask again. In various videos, various podcasts, various panels, various shows, various magazines, any of these things, anytime relationships are brought up where women are discussing, even when, where does character rank among women having a discussion about what to pick? One of the, how does that rank when Black women talk about Black men? Where does it rank? Is it in the top 5?
Let's be clear. Kevin Samuels introduced this high value mentality, and when he asks women questions, it always leads to the man's income. But if he asked a woman if a man's character is important to her, she would say yes. If he asked women if the way a man communicates is important to her, she would say yes. And if he asked if a man's integrity is important, a woman would say yes. Kevin is the one who has reduced relationships down to a woman's physical attributes and a man's wallet.
Exactly.
In this discussion, though, you can see why Kevin doesn't appreciate an educated woman, because he's becoming unraveled, he's stuttering and can't get his words together, and his meltdown is coming. Just wait.
Where does character rank among women having a discussion about what to pick? One of the, how does that rank when Black women talk about Black men? Where does it rank? Is it in the top 5? Top 10?
Well, I don't know what media you listen to, but in the media that I listen to, certainly.
Okay, what media is
a
that?
part of those
What media would that
conversations.
be?
I would not. I mean, if you're thinking about videos and social media,
I ask you what
and
media
all that,
do you
I mean,
listen to?
certainly,
I'm asking
like,
you what
could turn
media do you
Red
listen
Table
to?
Talk.
I'm not worried about what media. I'm not trying to find the media you listen to that holds that Black men should have character ranked highly. What media is that? So I can refer it out to the 616 people watching. Please let us know.
Sure, there's Red Table Talk.
Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett.
Thrive Tribe.
Hold on. Jada Pinkett Smith show. Red Table Talk.
Mm-hmm.
And the women that come on this show often talk about Black men, and the character of Black men is what they choose Black men on. Are you serious?
Trixie, Black men aren't even a consolation prize.
Okay, and then there's
no,
ma'am.
The first words out of your mouth was Red Pill Table Talk. Red Table Talk. And I'm asking you, are you seriously saying that when women go on this platform, this is what ranks highly with Black women? This is verifiable. You said
what you're saying.
You injected. You said Red Table Talk as a place where this happens. Are you serious?
I didn't say that it's every single episode.
I didn't ask every episode. I said I said highly. I said highly.
So what he does is this: he Red Table Talk is where they do talk about a man's character. So her mentioning it, really, we're done. But then he tried to shame the show, which really had, you call it what you want, has better substance than his show did. Okay. Like or hate Jada Pinkett, whatever, right? So now he's trying to shame her and try to make Jada's show seem below his. That's what he's trying to do.
Means more than the majority. The majority of Black women going on to Red Table Talk when they're discussing relationships with Black men, character is one of the first.
It's a Red Table Talk. There's like 6 or 8 people there. Of course, it's not the majority, you idiot.
First things they talk about.
There's been a few shows that I have seen that yes, they do bring character in.
Yeah, you guys muted her again. And the thing is that she was just answering his question. But he knows he's not going to hear he's not going to hear what he wants to hear. He's trying to get her to say what he needs her to say.
This is what I'm talking about. This is why so many times Black men do not want to talk to Black women.
I always find it interesting that Kevin's anecdotal situations and how he feels about one Black woman somehow includes all Black men. and that he can speak for all men on every subject and everything. If he doesn't like talking to Black women, shouldn't he say just that? It's strange that one Black man can speak for all in every situation.
Exactly. And I need to add in real quick right now that this man called Russell Wilson a simp, a man who's been married for 8 years, which is 3 times as long as Kevin was married in 2 marriages. So let that sink in. And I was informed in the chat by Strike Down Misogyny that Ciara talked about how she met Russell on the Red Table Talk. That sounds like, to me, that would be, you would think that would be a very, very good conversation to have with a happily married woman, with a man who truly loves her. Okay? You would think that everybody and their mother would want to see that conversation, and it was on Red Table Talk. So right then and there, that blows away whatever Kevin Samuels' theory had to offer, in my opinion.
If you're unfamiliar with Red Table Talk, it's a talk show on Facebook where Jada Pinkett Smith, along with her daughter Willow and her mom, interview various guests, from famous actors to athletes to relationship experts. She has a professional and reputable format that won a daytime Emmy. So I don't know why Kevin is suggesting that it's not a quality show. Oh yeah, because Jada is a Black woman.
No, I want to communicate clearly.
Well, I'm communicating clearly. This is a poor look for Black women. Do you think this is a good look for Black women? How about that?
Is what a good
The
look
way
for
in
Black
which
women.
they responded to this young Black man.
I don't think it's necessarily a good look for Black men or Black women.
That's not the question I asked.
See, he's trying to corner her when she's making a very articulate answer. He got his answer. Man, I bet he was a nightmare to live with.
Whenever I ask you a direct question, you always want to tie in. You got a problem with this man bringing Black women into a discussion. But when I ask you a question,
Yolanda breaks it down like this, because right now I think Kevin's just rambling. So why I'm going to put him on mute. Kevin Samuels said all the hateful things men always wanted to say to women, but never saw how they could and keep her receptive in some form. Yeah. Sick to see the tattoos on Bandits after he became Worm W Food. Yep. Yep. Let me see if I read that. Kevin Samuels said, all the hateful things men always wanted to say to women, but never saw how they could and keep her receptive in some form. Exactly that. Let me keep it going.
about Black women, you want to bring in Black men. You're a hypocrite.
Okay, well,
no, there's no okay, ma'am. Own that shit.
Oh shit! There he goes again, having it. This is what happens when you date down. This is the kind of conversation you would have with your mate. Voice raising, anger, the whole bit. Let me keep it going.
You're a fucking hypocrite.
Oh, now he's really, that's basically, here comes the verbal abuse. Which is unfortunately just fine with the majority of his subscribers.
You have done it multiple times.
And if you're talking about respect and then disrespecting me, with
No,
no.
We're beyond the path of disrespect. I've allowed you more latitude, more rope than anything else, and you continue to be disrespectful in your responses. When I ask you a direct question and
I'm not being disrespectful for
when I ask you a direct question and you decide to do the very thing you have an issue with.
Notice that she has not raised her voice yet, but he's having a tizzy fit, which is supposed to be emulating some level of masculinity.
It insults my intelligence. It is disrespectful. So I'll bid you a good day.
I would be insulting your intelligence by not having the conversation that you're worthy of. If you want answers,
good. Enjoy it with your man. Black women.
Madison live in the house. Good seeing you in here. King Lucifer. Good seeing you. Darnell is here. Cousin Raz is here. Benji's here. Indiana is here. Trixie Kincaid is here. Everybody, we got everybody up in here. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Women like this.
And it's funny because this other woman who sounds pretty much like a pick-me at best. I'm going to be nice tonight and just call her a pick-me. All she did was laugh all night.
In your proximity, if you want to have anything that resembles healthy relationships with black men.
This is a man who has never had a healthy relationship. By his own admission, by the facts, by the stats. And he's trying to tell people how to have a healthy relationship. I mean, man, the manosphere is doomed.
That you are not sleeping with. Need to go.
However you feel about Kevin Samuels, you have to admit that his attitude is horrible. If this is what high value means to black men, then I'm here to say women don't want it. What did this woman say that Kevin felt it was necessary to cuss her out and kick her off his panel? This woman got under his skin so deep that he made the sound effect of her saying, "I'm a PhD." Now, every time I hear it, it will remind me of this woman who got Kevin so emotional and bent out of shape that it made him sweat in that hot, too small suit that he always wears.
You know who else reminds me of Kevin Samuels?
Thank you guys. Thumbs up, share this out.
I'll show you here in a minute. Somebody who reminds me of Kevin Samuels. If he started a show, right, I bet he would be saying the same shit.
And that Steve, at this point in time, is in Abu.
Okay.
Right here. That he's going to be the next Kevin Samuels after he gets out of prison. That's who these guys follow. Ernesto Samuels. Coming to a channel near you. Darnell. What's up, bro? Talk to me.
Well, not much. Been answering a lot of health questions in your chat.
About Red Bulls.
Yeah, those Red Bulls, man. If you guys drink those Red Bulls, stop. You know, my doctors told me to stop a couple years ago. They saw something in my urine. I don't know exactly. I'm not a medical expert. But they saw something in my urine, and I remember the nurse who told me to stop drinking. I didn't drink Red Bull, but I drank Monsters, which is the same thing. And he told me to stop drinking it.
So, what happened after you stopped drinking Red Bulls? Did everything go back to normal?
So far.
This is recent?
No, this was I was supposed to go back to Afghanistan in 2019. I failed my physical. 2019. I failed my physical. But I'm assuming maybe my uric acid was high or something.
Okay.
Because they told me to cut the carbs. They told me to cut carbs and stop drinking energy drinks. And I had a vitamin D deficiency. Yeah. So, so I had to make some lifestyle changes there. And unfortunately, with the VA, like I said, the VA doesn't pay their doctors very well. So I ended up getting a new doctor, new nurse. This new doctor I got now, I don't really think I don't really think she's sincere. I think she's, underpaid and probably doesn't care. But the last doctor I had, she was an Indian woman from, she's from India.
Okay,
teaching
so what do you think about the information, the conversation that Kevin Samuels was having with the woman who had a PhD? What are your thoughts?
I mean, my thoughts so far, I gotta say, it's kind of tough. I do believe that Kevin Samuels, he did have an issue with, not exactly listening. He did have a problem with not listening, and coming off as, disrespectful. A lot of times, that's why I never really became a Kevin Samuels fan, because I did feel he was disrespectful a few times, but I will say this, is that I do believe that there is miscommunication between men and women. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. Like, DJ Torch, if you and I, let's say you and I were buddies and stuff, and you see I'm fucking up, or I'm sorry, screwing up. You say, hey, Darnell, you're screwing up, bro. You need to get your crap together.
Okay.
And more than likely, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I might get into my feelings, but something's gonna like ding in my head, like, you know what? DJ Torch is right. Darnell is screwing up. I need to fix it. And that's how you really care for somebody. But a lot of times when women face criticism, a lot of times, I mean, they take it very personal. I have family members, like, my sister, for example. My sister has a spending problem. She has a spending problem. She's broke. I called her broke. I said, sis, you're broke. And she got offended with me. She started
Okay,
yelling.
can I ask you a question?
I'm sorry?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Who's doing better in life right now, men or women? Black men or black women?
I think it's 50-50.
Okay. So let me ask you this. We'll work on your sister's situation. So you just walked up to her and said you're broke.
No, she's been struggling for the past few years. She's had a lot of last year she couldn't even keep her cell phone on 2 months. And
why?
She decided to move out. She had there was some kind of drama between her and mom. I don't know exactly. Some kind of drama between her and our mom, and so she decided to move out, strike it out on her own, but she wasn't ready. And so she was out living in Maryland.
Okay, so wait. Sorry to interrupt you. Okay. So basically you're basing your observation on your sister. How about everybody else? Who else did you run into it? Name another example.
Well, my mom, for example, my mom, she's not a
Let's get away from your family. You already explained your family situation.
Okay. I don't have too many interactions with too many women, to be honest with you.
Okay. So quite honestly, then, wouldn't you say that more than likely, other than your own family, that you're probably not, I'm not saying you're not qualified, but you don't have the qualified amount of interactions to really make a statement whether women are bossy women are offended or not?
Well, I mean, well, you did say outside my family. I just kind of noticed, like I said, when I try to give a woman advice, it's like,
well, yeah, I mean, outside your family. Yeah. So you just said that. Okay, let me clarify this. Outside your family, you said you just haven't had that many interactions to really come up with a, let's say, a stat, okay, or a enough cross section of interactions to say whether they're offended with you or not when you tell them something?
Yeah, I probably haven't had that many interactions. Like I said,
Okay, okay, we're getting somewhere. So
yeah, when
the thing is that basically what you're not really giving me an experience, with the exception of your family, and your family's your family.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of your family, you're really not giving me anything that I could say, okay, that's a solid, that what your observation is solid. It sounds like more of an assumption than it is a fact, right?
I do have experience with women I've dated.
Okay. Out of the women you've dated, what percentage had an issue with what you were telling them when it had to do with advice?
I would say almost all of them. I'd say all but maybe 2.
Okay. How would you describe? One was a stripper, right?
One was a stripper, yes, unfortunately.
How about the other ones?
Other ones, let me see. One worked at the Subway. Keep in mind I was young at the time, so she worked at Subway.
How young is young?
I was 20. I was 21.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 21. And she, I believe, was 19.
Okay, can we go by the last 10 years?
Okay, last 10 years. I'm 36, so it'd have been 26. To be honest with you, the last 10 years, to be honest with you, I dated a few times, but
Okay, so in the last 10 years, you've only dated a few times, but you were serving the country, you were out there doing your thing, right?
Yes, sir.
So basically, I'm not going to say that your observation is wrong or anything. It just sounds like you just haven't been around enough women to really base an accurate depiction on a woman when you give them advice, because you just haven't been around enough, right?
Yes and no. George, do you have female relatives that you try to give advice to?
Okay, let me try this again. Okay. We went by the last 10 years because, and 10 years is a pretty long time.
Yes.
Okay. So.
But you got to remember that the beginning of the years I was engaged, so I wasn't trying to date.
Wait, how many years were you engaged?
I wasn't. No, it was only a couple months. It was 2015 when I was my last engagement.
Okay.
So
okay.
I wasn't trying to date.
Let's go back. Let me do this again.
Okay.
How many times have you given women advice in the last 10 years?
I'd say multiple times. None of them ever.
Multiple? How many?
I would say at least 10 times.
Okay, 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not all of them. I was trying to date.
What was the advice about?
Mostly financial.
Okay. And you're ignoring your sister, correct?
I'm sorry?
You're not counting your sister in this 10.
Yeah, no, I'm not counting my sister.
Okay. Tell me about your financial expertise.
Well, to be honest with you, I only have a high school diploma, so I'm not a financial guru. I am not.
Okay, what kind of financial advice did you give?
Basically, budgeting, saving money, investing your money in the stock market.
So you basically told them this, and they told you to get lost or something, right?
Well, they didn't say get lost. They're like, they kind of, but they didn't really take heed, if that makes sense.
Okay, you remember about, I don't know, 5 months ago when you had your beard, right?
Yeah.
We told you you should cut your beard, but you didn't.
Yeah, I remember.
I mean, eventually you did, which is cool. But so I'm trying to find out where we're going here, because it sounds like to me it's like this. You gave them financial advice, which was basic advice. It sounds like pretty much save your money, budget, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How many times did you give that kind of advice?
How many times did I get it? I think I got it. I think I got it early on when I turned 18.
Wait a minute. We're talking the last 10 years. Remember?
Oh, the last 10 years. No, I had to figure it out the hard way. I went.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about when you were giving advice.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, the women that you said did not take heed to your advice in the last 10 years.
Okay. Yes. Yes. It was multiple women. I was just literally trying to help them out.
What's multiple?
There was at least not including my family. I would say there was at least 2 or 3 of them.
Okay, that's not a whole lot of people.
No.
So, but it seems like you're saying that okay. This is what you said at first. You said that women have a hard time, Black women have a hard time taking advice, right?
I'm not going to say Black women. I think women don't like to hear advice.
Women in general. Okay, is that good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Women in general don't like to take advice. I don't think.
And you're talking about 3 women in your life that didn't take advice.
Yeah.
And that's how you got your conclusion.
Well, experience is the best teacher.
Okay. What percentage of women are in prison?
I have to look it up.
Okay, go ahead and look it up, and I'm gonna welcome Creative Solutions to the stage. Creative, how you doing?
I am good. How are you?
Doing great. It's good seeing you.
That's great. So I was listening to Darnell, and I understand that he was trying to give the women in his life, his family advice, and then I was just like, wow, I don't know. I think like a lot of people won't take advice unless they know that you actually care for them and there's a roadmap that is to success, because you can tell somebody save this money and you can tell somebody do this, but if they already at their limits and they don't know how to do it, it's not really helpful. Because I work in the financial industry, right? And so I go out and I sell life insurance, right? And if somebody's telling me that they think it's too expensive or they don't know how they're gonna afford it, the first thing I look at that and I listen to that, right? So it's like a mental block. So then I have to figure out how I can free up some money for them so they can afford a product that they need. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Creative Solutions, may I cut you off? I have an answer for David Torch's question about how many women are in prison.
All right, go ahead.
So according to ACLU.org, about 7% 7% of women are in state or federal prison.
Got it. Okay. Look up men. Look up, let's be specific. Look up black men.
So black men, that's going to be 1 out of 3. I know that one.
How much?
1 out of 3, 33%.
33%?
Yes, sir.
So who would you think needs more advice? And who do you think hasn't been taking advice?
Well, I mean, going by what you're just saying, I would have to say black men. You know, if we look at the numbers, you know, black
Right.
men.
And I think we should stress that some percent of women includes all women, right?
Yes, sir. That's not just black women. That's all women.
So,
and again, I got that from ACLU.
So it sounds like to me, in general, if we look outside of our own selves and look into the stats, it sounds like women take heed to advice more than men. Women take heed to advice more than black men do. Otherwise, there would be more women in prison, right? I mean, they can still commit crimes, right?
Yes, they can.
So, I mean, who's really, if with the stats that are in front of us, who's really logical and who's really emotional, in your opinion?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, me being on Razor's channel, you know, did teach me that, you know, because I did believe that men were more logical and women were more emotional. But being on Razor's channel, it did teach me that that's not necessarily true.
Right. Let me ask you this. You know our girl Tam, right?
Yes, sir, I do. I have a lot of respect for Miss Tam.
When she's on Razor's show, does she or does she not show more logic than most of the other panelists?
She shows. I mean, she shows a lot of poise, a lot of moxie. I mean, Miss Tam is, man, I'm at a loss for words here, but Miss
She's
Tam,
100, huh?
Yeah, she's great.
So she shows logic, moxie, everything you said, right?
Yes, sir.
So do you think she's more logical than those gentlemen on that panel?
Yes, sir, I do. Or, well, not all of them, but some, you know, well, I would say, you know, majority of them, yes.
Okay. So then maybe your assumption of saying that women don't really take advice it may not be the best answer.
Well, I mean, like I said, I can understand, like I said, the women that I don't know that well, you know what I'm saying? Like, either women I've dated or just women that, hey, we're just friends kind of thing. I can kind of understand, you know, why they wouldn't take my advice, you know what I'm saying? But like with my sister, why doesn't she take my advice?
Can I answer this question?
Absolutely creative.
You know the reason why they don't take your advice? Because they don't see you as this financial professor or somebody who has attained all of these things in life. They don't see you as that. So you need to change the way they view you so that they could, you know, actually take your advice. You know, because if I just had my friend and she's telling me about what to do, but she hasn't done that in her own life, why would I take her advice? Does that make sense?
Well, but
that makes perfect sense to me.
Well, but here's the thing, though, ma'am. It's like, okay, she doesn't mind listening to her so-called friend that had, at this point, it sounds to me like they may have abandoned her. You know, she likes hanging out with her friends. She likes spending money hanging out with her friends, and you know, and she's broke. Like, she had to move back in with mom. After leaving mom, she had to move back in. You know, because she couldn't afford to live on her own. You know, when I tried to put her on the plan, I actually did her budget.
Are we back to your sister again?
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, no.
Can I say something? Listen, so you know, a lot of times we feel like we need to help people. We need to assist them. Why they doing this and why they doing that. And I truly believe the more that we help, we are not doing them any justice, because these people have to fall, trip, and bust their head. We're stopping them from their life experience. That's what we're doing. And you know what that ends up for us? We're taking on their karma. So us assisting them is like lightening their load, but we're taking their load off their back. You know what I mean? We should not do that. We need to leave them, let them fall, trip, and bust their head.
Well, I mean, the the only issue is, like I said, in my case, you know, mom kind of expressed about leaving everything to me. The only problem is I'm going blind. That's a huge problem. I have two special needs brothers.
You said you're going blind in 20 years. Dude, you acting like this is happening in the next few months. Like, come on.
Maybe 20
Every time
years.
I go to Peru, I feel like you're going to die in the next five years. This guy's like, that's what you sound like. You sound like your life is about to end. Like, come on, you got to stop saying that. You got 20 years and you don't know if you can find a cure or something. You are in charge of your own universe. Stop saying that.
Yeah, let me make it clear. Wait. Before you start, let me make it clear. I wasn't laughing at you because you were going blind. I was laughing at you because we had this conversation before about how much life you have to live and how you may or may not go blind, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility, but the probability.
Yeah, but you keep talking about it. Like, come on, let's focus on today and the next couple of years from now. What can you do today? You calling on death before it comes here.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just one of those things when you know, you ever heard the saying, nobody wants to know when they're going to die? And, you know.
Wait. You do know that your obsession with your concern about 20 years from now is affecting your desirability to women, right?
Well, I said maybe 20 years. That's the thing. I might have 20, I might have 30 years, but
okay,
there's a chance.
So shouldn't you be just focusing on? I mean, do your best eye health ever. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you some advice. Here we go. Do your best eye health ever. Whatever vitamins they tell you to take, or nutrients, or proteins, you do all that. Okay? Let's get that out of the way first. Then the second thing is, I mean, basically, you know, I could keel over from high blood pressure. You see what I'm saying? But I'm doing the best I can. I'm living it up, and I'm focused on living a happy life, getting my fly fishing on, whatever, right? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So you don't want to put obstacles in front of you. And you're doing that. No woman is going to be attracted to an obstacle man.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I understand that 100%, but in the event I fail, in the event
why do you keep saying that? Like, come on. Like, I feel like
obstacling out.
Say affirmations.
You have to understand creative solutions. You have to understand it is a
so sad. There's people who are worse off conditions than you, and they don't talk the way you talk.
I'm just a person that's realistic. And,
Okay,
you know,
so
but the thing is,
look, Angelina's not on panel, so we can't help you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. But so the thing is this. Okay, let's bring it all the way back to what we were talking about with Kevin Samuels. I believe your point was this, and let me know if I'm wrong. Even though that was 20 minutes ago, I'm still going to bring it back.
Okay, go ahead.
What you're saying is that you sort of agree with Kevin Samuels because you believe that Black women don't take advice from men the same way that they don't take advice from Kevin Samuels. But yet you do believe that Kevin Samuels has been kind of a little bit condescending at times. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He's been very condescending. Very.
Do you believe he's okay? Do you believe he should have been, you know, a little bit more respectful to the women and men on his panel? I mean, that he brought to the panel.
Yes.
In the house, Miss RV, H.T. Baldwin is in the house. The Urbanista is in the house. Benji Masu is in the house. Trixie Kincaid is in the house. King Lucifer, thank you so much for the donation. I very much appreciate it. Indiana Mom is in the house. The LW Academy for Women is in the house. By the way, you're gonna have to pay hourly for if you really need therapy, if you ask her. Anyway,
I get free therapy from the VA.
That's right.
Is it really
Well, I'm
helping?
sure you do.
Is it really helping, Darnell? Is it
Okay,
really?
but watch this, creative. When was the last time you went to VA for therapy?
My last appointment was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, how many times are you supposed to go a week?
I ain't gonna lie, I missed the last two.
Okay.
Yeah, the last two. But
okay,
you know, I do have an appointment.
I tell you what. You know, I'm supposed to hate black men, but I'm gonna ask you to do something for me.
Okay.
When is your next appointment?
It'll be next Friday.
Okay. If you don't make your appointment on Friday, I don't want to see you here on YouTube.
Okay, fair enough.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
No appointment, no YouTube.
All right.
Okay.
Deal.
I'm being mean. I'm being Kevin X7. You better go. No.
Can I say something also? I just want to say,
creative. Break it down, creative.
Like a man, and that's how we're gonna shake on it. We're gonna shake on it. I know you can't.
I'm shaking. Okay, creative. Break it down, creative.
I was gonna say, if you've been going to this therapist for the past 3 months and you still feel the same way and still doing the same things, maybe you should look at other options. You know, it's okay to invest in yourself. You know, whether it's $100 or $200 or something. You know, it's really okay to invest in yourself. You know, because it's for your overall well-being. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Whether it's a gym, whether it's going to therapy, it's always good to invest in you. So that's my 2 cents for Darnell.
By the way, creative is on tomorrow, and if you come to the live tomorrow, we'll give you a little we'll give you a little break. You still need to go on Friday, but you know, tomorrow's therapy day.
Yep.
She'll give you some great healthy advice. Probably tell you to stop smoking.
Yeah,
that's not good for cataracts at all.
No, sir.
So, I mean, we're talking about that. I mean, come on. I mean, actually, believe it or not, Darnell, you are a perfect example. It's not just men, but it's women. It's not just women that aren't heeding your advice, but you're not heeding advice. You see what I'm saying? When you walked out of that therapist's office last time, right? They told you to come back, right? You didn't, did you?
No.
You ignored their advice, right?
Well, I didn't ignore it.
Yeah, you did. You didn't go.
The last one, I'll be honest, I overslept. I've been having problems.
That to me, that's like, that's not an excuse.
I understand.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very important thing. It's very, I think you would benefit if you went, but it doesn't sound like you're putting a lot of emotional or mental effort into it. I'm sure they gave you some exercises to do, correct?
No exercises. Just more venting. Venting and some advice.
Dr. Newport.
Yeah,
says Dr. Newport. That's it. He doesn't miss those appointments, does he? He don't miss those appointments.
Dr. Camel Crush.
Oh my God. Okay,
I can't.
I think okay. I'm gonna let creative talk because
Yeah, go ahead.
Why y'all want me to talk? I'm gonna start dragging, and I don't want to do that.
Drag me, ma'am. Go ahead.
You said to drag you. I don't. Come on, Donnell. You come on here, like almost every live, and you always drinking something. You always smoking something. I have yet to hear anything that's going on in your life, except for when you was going to that wedding and you was trying on clothes. Other than that, I haven't heard you talk about going to the gym. I haven't heard you talk about during your session that you learned this great exercise and has helped you in some kind of way. I haven't heard you talked about, trying new things or going out and, finding this group. I haven't heard anything like that. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of depressed. Like, you come on.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean
A
to
little
make you
bit depressing because you're so young. How old are you? Like, you're young. You're in your 30s. You're still young. Like,
Yeah, I'm 36.
yeah, you can still go out there. You can still go to the gym. You can still reach, whatever you want to reach out in life. You're still young. I just, don't be sitting in front of a screen drinking and smoking. Like, I understand that Donnell is shy. We all shy. I did a whole video about that. When you step out, you're gonna have some anxiety, and it's okay. Anxiety means you venture into something new. That's all it means. And I don't know, Donnell. It's okay to have anxiety. You already have a good support group. You have us. You have your counselor. You have a lot of support. We just want you to take that step. That's it.
Right. I mean, Darnell, you're the perfect example of what maybe not only that a lot of men in the manosphere are not doing. You know that smoking's bad for your eyes, but you're smoking.
Yep.
You're probably not working out, right?
Nope, I haven't
Okay.
worked out in years.
Okay. You got your grooming together, which is good, but that was one thing. But you're not making your one of your most important appointments, which has to do with therapy, and it's damn important. So other than meeting with Dr. Newport, I mean, basically, I don't mind you doing what you want to do because it's your life. But a lot of the guys, they do what you do, and then they turn around and still be mad at women. You see what I'm saying? When it's like, hey, I'm not even doing what I need. I'm not even doing the bare minimum I should be doing, right? To be a desirable human being, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then they turn around and blame women. And that's kind of the culture I feel that was going on in Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, I mean, there is that where men are blaming women, but I don't think Kevin Samuels or a lot of these, well, not all of them, but some of these red pill guys, I don't think they encourage it. It's just, I don't think these men, it's kind of like a Trump supporter, right? Where they just delve way in too deep, instead of just being conservative, right? And saying, hey, I just want lower taxes and I want less government, it's turned into a cult, right? And I think the manosphere is the same thing, where you got men turning basically, into a cult. I think that's the problem.
Okay, so why do you believe that is? Do you think it's just because it's easier than doing the work, or what?
This is just my opinion, but human beings, I think we're all stupid in a way.
No, we're not. You know what, Donnell? You are a clear example of a guy in the manosphere. Except you don't complain. But you're a clear example. I don't know if reality has hit you. I mean, you don't really work on yourself or do anything outside, but you're a clear example of a guy who's in the manosphere. Except you don't complain and bitch online. You don't have a YouTube channel about that, and that's what it is. They do exactly what you do. They come, they wake up, they drink something, they smoke, they probably don't even work out, they probably don't even have any friends, and then they go online because they can't find no women and they bitch and complain.
Well, I mean, even in the manosphere, they even tell you, like Fresh and Fit will tell you, stop drinking, stop smoking. You know.
Okay, yeah, but that's every blue moon. I mean, I know you bring that up, but most of the time they have a show of women on there that they disrespect or at least
Well,
argue with.
that's the nighttime show. You got to watch the daytime shows for that.
Well, but okay, but Darnell, they attracted you, right? You was attracted to that space. And what is example of you? I'm just saying.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I said they attracted you to their space. You came into their space. They wheeled you in. You fit the prototype.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, yes, ma'am. I do. I did. For me, it was when my ex-fiance tried coming back. That's what kind of prompted me to join the Fresh and Fit train, so to speak. You know.
How many women before your fiance did you date?
Man. At least
a lot
10,
or not a lot?
20.
Say again?
At least 10. I'd say maybe 20.
Okay. Did any of those women that you dated prior to your fiance, were they good women? Which women? How many of those women do you feel were good women?
I think 3 of them that I can think of. At least 3 of them were good women. Let's see. One of them was I met her. She was a good church-going woman, but she ended up leaving me for another guy. But even so, at least she was honest and she didn't play me for a fool. So she's not a bad woman. It's just, hey, I just wasn't the guy. You know?
Okay.
And then let's see, number 2, kind of the same thing, but she wanted a thug. Unfortunately, I'm not a thug. And then there was another one. She really liked me, but unfortunately, I was what you would consider a dusty at the time.
Okay, so you had with the one, so you had the stripper, and then you had one that was really liked you, but then you were in dusty mode at the time.
I mean, I wasn't in dusty mode, but the facts are the facts. I was a dusty. I was unemployed. I was drawing unemployment.
You were what?
I was drawing unemployment, sleeping on my dad's couch. And I just realized I wasn't, that's not a man. I'm sorry. But that's not a man.
Okay. So, what's your plan?
I'm sorry?
What's your plan? What's your plan for fixing your social life?
Well, to be honest with you, there is no plan really. To be honest with you.
So are you good with just? I mean, you can be, you can be who you want to be, but then you just got to understand. And I'm not saying this just to you, but I'm saying this to a lot of dudes out there too, that you can be. If you don't want to put in the work, that's fine. Just don't blame anybody else for your failure. You see what I'm saying?
No, I don't blame anyone. There was a time I did.
Right. I know. I'm saying this not to just you, but everybody. Because there's a lot of guys who do blame women for their failure, even though they don't put in the work. They can't. Some of these guys can't even see their toes, because they don't go to the gym, or they don't dress right. A perfect example is everything from Dusty's by the Dozen yesterday, part 2, of course. So, I mean, that's pretty much after watching this. I have a PhD thing. The biggest thing I picked up is how is how men blame women when men have work to do before they can even really approach a woman.
I agree with that statement. I agree with that statement wholeheartedly. Um, there are a lot of men, especially in the manosphere or the red pill manosphere. You know, I see it all the time. You know, there are men out there that you know they're not willing to put in the work. Like, you know, literally they smoke weed all day. You know, they smoke weed all day. Work assuming they even have a job, they work a bullshit job, not making no money, and you know expect women, and then they're upset with women because women don't want. I mean, it's like, come on, bro, you gotta at least put down the weed. Like, you know, you guys tell me stop putting down, or excuse me, put down the cigarette. You know,
yeah.
These other men need to, these other men need to stop. You know, they need to put down the damn weed. You know,
Well, here's a good suggestion for you. Big Cap wants you to be a passport bro. Live your best life. You've been in the passport bros more than anybody. So, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm not a. The thing is with the passport bros is I'll be honest with you. They a lot of them. I don't like the passport bros. In fact, I used to consider myself the precursor to the passport bro. You know.
Okay. So why don't you like them?
I think they're selling a dream. They're selling men a dream. They're selling men a dream. They're let's face it. They're paying for sex or box.
Okay, Big Cap. That's the answer.
They're not honest. They're not honest about it. They are not honest about it. Like, I mean, I have no issues, you know, with as long as it's between consensual adults. I have no issues with it. But be honest.
Okay, let me bring it back. Let me let J Mike say a little something. J Mike, welcome to the mic. How you doing tonight?
Okay, it sounds like Darnell sound like the male version of a lot of these BWE content creators.
How so?
Basically.
How so?
I'm gonna use this example. Some of these BWE women are just the same as these passport bros and some manosphere guys. A lot of those BWE content creators, they before they had children, they was chasing out. I understand. I mean, if a guy chase after a thug, if a guy chase after the woman who likes thugs, that's not the type of woman he want to go after, because men should not be attracted to hood rats, and not all hood rats live in the ghetto either. You might have a couple of hood rats that live in the suburbs too.
Yeah. Well, like in the case of the woman, when I first moved to Arizona, you know, the woman she was the first woman I dated here when I first moved here, and like she was definitely not a hood rat. I mean, she was from Philly, you know, but she wasn't a hood rat. Like I've been to her, I've been to her house, big ass house, huge. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was a mansion, but it's damn near a mansion. You know, really nice house. I met her dad. I met her mom. You know, they were both professionals. You know, so she was definitely upscale, but for whatever reason, she wanted a thug dude.
Nah, she might be upscale, but it be upscale hood rats too. I don't believe ain't no logical black women that will go after a thug. I'm sorry I had to tell you that. If that's the case, there's something wrong with them.
Well, how old are you, sir?
31.
Okay, 31. Yeah, I mean, when you become 30, yeah, things do kind of change. But you know, when you're in your early 20s, for example, like I said, you know, let's face it,
a lot of people are
more attractive too.
A lot of people in their 20s, a lot of my friend group in their 20s aren't the same way they are now. but things do change.
Yeah, that's a good point. We cannot knock somebody for what they did in their 20s.
Cause
We
the
should
stuff, the
celebrate their
stuff I used to put on Facebook when I was 19, 20, maybe 21, it ain't the same as the stuff I put on Facebook now. Off the chain when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was talking the same way a lot of these manosphere guys was talking when I was that age, but something happened. I guess I matured like in my mid-20s, but
Yeah. 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 I mean, that happens to all of us. We all mature in our late 20s. Some of us early 30s. You know, it just depends on when you mature. But like, you know what I'm saying? In the early 20s, it's like, you know, let's face it, you know, we're all immature. Yes. I mean, believe me, I was the poster child of stupid. And, you know, in my late teens, early 20s, I was the poster child of stupid. I
just
swear to
like
God,
this, just like
you look
this
up the word
educated
idiot
hood
in the
race out
dictionary.
here, it's educated thugs out here too. So don't get that part twisted.
I mean, are there educated thugs? Yes. Well, yes and no. You
I will
know.
have to say yes. I agree because when I was serving in the military, and I was overseas, and these guys who joined the military, you know, they were black, and they will be putting up gang signs, and they'll be forming gangs while they are in the Navy, and it's like you're supposed to leave that behind you. Why are you bringing that into the service? So yeah, I
Yeah,
do agree.
yeah, I'll be honest, they weren't
I have a I have
educated.
a brother. He finished. He got he had went to school after got a degree. I forgot where he got a certificate in, but that guy is still off the chain too. And he 41, so he just had a baby with a preference. But I don't know how long that gonna last because that guy he dated a lot of black women and majority of those black women weren't no good. I know one that was better than those that he dated before this preference, but a lot of those guys that date wind up with preferences, those guys usually didn't date the best quality black women either.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, Lord knows I made my fair share of mistakes.
I have to say this statement right here. Everybody says, "Big Cap, I'm going to Brazil in 2 weeks. Can't wait to observe the plane full of passport bros." Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I don't think she's gonna see too many passport bros. I heard they reinstated the visa requirement, so I have a feeling a lot of those passport bros that's been to Brazil, she ain't gonna see them on that plane.
What's happening?
You didn't hear this? They reinstated the visa requirement.
What does the visa requirement mean? I have nothing to do with
Miss
that.
RB just gave me a good point. She told me that who are these BWE content creators I'm talking about. I got a perfect one in my mind, and Nyla says is a perfect example of a BWE hood rat. Look at how she live and look at look at how Nyla talks on her lives, and look at Taz. That's a perfect example
Are they still
of
together?
yes, they are. I don't know, but I haven't been focused on them for about a couple of months, but Nala and Taz is a whole ass mess.
I agree with that.
Oh, Urban
I
Nisha says
already
it's going
said
to
it.
affect
Woman
Brooklyn.
Spear already told us Nala and Taz ain't no good, and I kind of see what she was talking about months later. And look at how
Anybody else?
Taz talked to black women. He called
Any
Kiki Paul. I lost all my respect for Taz when he called Kiki Paul my bitch. I was ever like fuck Taz exclusives after that.
Hmm.
Man, I didn't know it was like
Nyla,
that.
Nyla Taz is not on the level of Kiki Palmer to call her that.
Facts.
He a bum ass nigga who ain't about shit and ain't gonna be shit. He basically living off of Nyla.
Yeah. I don't like how they call Kiki Palmer this, because if Beyonce would have worn that, nobody wouldn't say anything. If
Nope.
Beyonce would have worn that, nobody would have never said anything.
I agree. Well, I'm thinking like, okay. Darnell, what have you learned tonight? If anything.
Well, to be honest with you, every time I come on the show, I learn something every day, DJ Torch, to be honest with you. But, yeah, I mean, why do you think I come on?
Oh, I thought, hey, well, it's good to know because people, good to know that you have something to take home with you,
Yeah, because yes, I am a manosphere or red pill guy, but I'm not the crazy red pill manosphere guy. You know what I mean? That I still have an open mind. I don't want to be in an echo chamber, and coming on this podcast helps me not be in an echo chamber. Have a balance, kind of like Star Wars, right? The Force. Bring balance to the Force.
Got it. I see what you're saying. Yeah. That I understand.
Yeah. I mean, because like I said, there is an issue with dating in America. I don't think it's necessarily one side's fault. But we have to have these discussions and to hear from women, to hear from the woman's point of view. To me, that's important. That's very important to hear from the woman's perspective.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and dive a little bit deeper into Shirley Strawberry for a second. Here we go.
I need you to send me $50, please, as you can, since I got to sit here until the 31st.
I know. What'd you say?
I said I need you to send me $50 if you can. I got to give you the thing to do it on.
Okay. It's www.connectwork.com. Connect, like CONNECT?
Yeah, connect. Yes.
Okay,
Network.
Connect Work, WORK?
No, yeah, net, NET, work, WORK.com.
Okay, spell Connect, please.
CONNCIT.
CONNCIT?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's not right.
Oh,
You mean
see?
connect, like connected, like me and you are connected. That's what you're talking about?
Man, he can't even spell.
Yeah, yes.
Connect
Yeah.
Work, WORK?
Yes, network, NET, work, WORK.
CONNETWORK.
God.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Connect network. I know it's loud
Okay.
here. .com.
Wait a minute.
Oh, gee.
CONNECT network.
Yes.
Okay.
.com.
Okay. All right. Ernest L. Williams Jr.
Yes. And now they ain't got a junior on here. You just got Ernest L. Williams.
Okay.
And they spelled it with here. They spelled it with
I want to know, when did she know that he was dumb as rocks?
When did what now?
I want to know when she figured out that he was dumb as rocks.
Probably right, at least right there, I would say.
You should have been though. She ain't have no conversations with him from the get-go. And she's grown. These women I don't know. It's a bad look.
But I ain't gonna lie to you, like Amiri Brown, when he was on your live, this was a few episodes ago, he had said half of black men can't read, at the adult level. And
let me tell y'all something. I'm glad you brought that up. Cause do y'all know it's a viral TikTok? Hate to cut y'all, but y'all know it's a viral TikTok of a young black male teacher that was saying he teach 7th grade, and Most of his students are still reading on the 4th grade level.
What?
Yes,
Oh,
I should have been
yep.
brought it up a couple of lives ago.
When I decided to look because I didn't believe Amiri at first. I didn't believe his stats. It turned out Amiri was actually being generous. I
He
found out
was, and it ain't just black children that's lacking in reading. Sadly, this is a problem all across America and probably Canada and Australia too.
Well, I didn't look up Canada or Australia, just the United States, but I found out that only 6% of black men can read at the adult level. 6%.
Wow.
I like to read too, but I think I mean, I don't know how to learn how to read, but I was reading when I was young too. So, because when I was in school, we had accelerated reader programs. That's probably what encouraged me to read. I was in the 4th grade reading those books on accelerated reader.
Yeah. Shout out to Amiri Brown for that. I mean, I swear, I didn't even believe him at first. I just looked it up. And I found out, man, he was being nice when he said 50% of men. He was being nice. Or I'm sorry, he said 50% of black men.
With that said, Darnell, don't you think that black men, we have a lot more work to do before we can start complaining about black women?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if only 6% of us can read at the adult level. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, what kind of job can we get if we can't read? I mean, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of jobs, I think, but still, we might be limited a little bit.
And the crazy part about the teacher on TikTok that said the 7th graders are still reading on 4th grade level. There was a lot of other teachers that replied to him, and they were saying the same thing. And one lady said that's why she homeschooled her daughter.
Okay, Columbus Hill says that's not true, Darnell. 54% of U.S. adults have a literacy below 6th grade level.
That is definitely true. If most of these kids are still reading on the 4th grade level in high school, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
it's like, and that teacher wasn't just talking about black. It was other teachers. It was teachers of other colors, other races and ethnicities were saying the same thing that teacher said on that TikTok when they replied to him.
Yeah. Well, where was I wrong? I mean, because like I said, I mean, granted, I didn't look up white, Hispanic. I excluded whites, Hispanics. I just looked up black.
Okay.
I mean, if it's black, I mean, 6%. You say 6% of what's the percentage I said of black men that read on that don't read on the adult level?
Well, the stats I looked up was 6%. I'm sorry, only 6%. Only 6% read at the adult level of black men, and that's black men.
Sad. I mean, that's sad because
that's horrible.
That means what's the percentage of those children that are still reading on the elementary level, high school? Parents might make up that might make up that demographic.
I have no idea, sir.
This is probably how I can tell you that on both female and male parts. But I understand that the females are progressing more educational wise, and I've also seen that in my own family too. So
yeah.
What are your thoughts, Creative?
I don't know what to say about that. I think they need to focus on reading, focus on learning. Focus on building that. Try to make programs that are more engaging for young men, so that they're able to read, make it more interesting. I mean, we have the technology, and we have the creativity, and we have the people. I mean, we can do something about it.
I think it's you can't save those men that can't read. If they're adults, you can't save them. I mean, you can save the youth, You got to start with the youth. But like when you become an adult, you become set in your ways.
Very good point. Very good point. So what do you think the solution is for Black women then?
I ain't gonna lie. Black women, you might be better off dating a white guy or an Asian guy, or even a Hispanic guy.
Any argument with that, Creative?
I have no arguments with that. But before you can look, how they say what Michael Jackson said, look at yourself in the mirror.
That's a good point. Good point. All right, Jason Campbell, welcome to the stage. What's going on, Jason? One, two. Are you there, Jason?
We can hear you. Your mic is on mute.
Hello?
Did you unmute?
Scary ass niggas.
What he said?
Oh.
He said something nigga.
Anyway.
I mean, if you're gonna come on here and cuss us out, do it the right way. You know,
I know, really, right.
Say
I mean,
it
have
with
a clean,
chest.
have a clean mic, you know. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So Columbus Hill says this: 66% of Hispanic population has medium to high literacy in America. 65% of whites have moderate to high literacy. Interesting. Wow. Okay. That is very interesting.
Yes, to be honest, I didn't look up Hispanic or white, but it is since they make more money than we do, it is more than likely they can read better than we can.
Yeah, I think we have some work. If we would focus, we'd be fine. Believe it or not. But the problem is doing it.
But to be honest with you, there's just some men out there that just don't want to do the work. Like,
right.
You know, when I was in Texas, you know, helping out my mom, there's this guy who kept showing up at my mom's house. You know, used to bum cigarettes off me all the time. You know. Anyway, long story short, you know, I mean, I did everything I could to help this guy. Tried to help him find a job. You know, I drove him to different spots. Hell, I drove him to Oklahoma City once. You know, to help him find a job because he claimed he worked in the oil field. And so I took him to oil field recruiting, and you know, nothing. So finally, you know, I saw, you know, I said, fuck it. You know, his sister was about to kick him out, and you know, I said, okay, well, why don't you join the army? So I took him to the army recruiting station, and this dude scored a 5 on the I think they call it the PICAT. It's the practice ASVAB. You know, he scored a 5.
You know what? That test is hard because some college students can't even get in. When they was taking the ASVAB, a lot of them fail. Even college students fail. Some high school students, yeah, people got 16, 10, 14, 12.
When I took the practice, I scored a 40. I think it was a 44.
Oh, they probably was like, they gonna scoop you up. Anybody who scored like a 30 and above, you were like hot on their bucket list because all you need is 35 to pass. And if you scored anywhere between a 30 and above, you are hot. You are like a hot pocket. We need you right
now. When I took the real ASVAB, I actually went to MEPS, took the real ASVAB. I scored a 51. And I was in high school. I was a junior in high school at the time.
See, you were smart. A lot of these people, they can't pass it. I'm telling you, a lot. It's true.
I
Only
definitely went past that because I was in special ed all 12 years. I was in special ed from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. So yeah. A lot of some special ed people. There I ain't gonna lie, there was a few special ed people on the AB honor roll, but I was not part of that majority.
Columbus Hill says I'm telling a lie. What lies am I telling?
Okay,
that's
so
true. The ASVAB is really hard for some people.
I mean, like I said, I looked up the statistics myself. Like I didn't believe Amiri at first either. I didn't believe him, but he was right. Matter of fact, Amiri was being nice.
Creative. Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
On the live tomorrow, can you add in not smoking?
Of course.
Oh damn.
Yeah, how many cigarettes you done smoked? That was
I know
like
he's been smoking all live. He's been here for what, an hour and a half?
You smoke a pack a day? You got money like that?
More than a pack a day.
Well, I'm gonna
How much is a pack? How much is a pack?
Here in Phoenix, it is 11. Let's call it 11.50.
Holy moly! That's almost the price of a haircut.
That's like
I know, right?
$300 a month. $350 a month going to cigarettes.
I'm an addict.
Damn, Darnell.
There's a lot of men like this. It's not the first one. This other guy I know, his budget is $800 for weed a month. And I was like, for real? This is real?
Whoa. Wow. Man.
Imagine if you took that $300 and you got like a gym membership or you got a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Boom.
No, you're right. Yeah,
Boom.
you're right.
I mean, there it is right there.
That's what I do. When I do like financial and I go see people, I ask them, you got to cut something out.
Yeah, the financials of smoking. Wow. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know. I thought it was still under a,
It is so funny in all of these black YouTube channels. It's always that one person in the chat talk about passport bros. I mean, it does make it way to. I mean, even if this was not, even if we was talking about other stuff, because I do be on other channels that are not, that don't talk about this, but that seems to make its way in every sector of black YouTube, and it's getting ridiculous. It's got ridiculous at this point.
Well, Benji Matsu, I just want to respond to that comment. Benji Matsu, my lungs, believe it or not, they're still good. I've had my lungs checked. They're still good for now. Yeah, you're right. I need to stop.
I don't know what's worse, smoking or drinking. Wow. Well, I guess both are bad.
They go hand in hand, I found out. I didn't believe it at first, but they go hand. Smoking and drinking go hand in hand.
Is there a pleasure that you get from smoking and drinking at the same time?
Yes, and you also have the for me, it's my way of numbing out,
depression,
the pain of reality.
So why do you go have a therapist if you're still gonna smoke? I thought your therapist is a way to alleviate that.
Right.
Yeah,
he doesn't really go. He already missed 2. He went, a couple weeks ago, and he's missed 2 other appointments. The LW Academy says this. It's not only the money. When you're doing Mary Jane heavily, you have to consider that psychosis and mental health issues.
Well, I don't do Mary Jane.
I know. I'm talking.
Mary Jane is worse, to be honest.
Is it? Wow. Okay. Let's see. H.C. Baldwin in the house. H.C. Baldwin, welcome. He says this. I don't think smoking will make you want to delete somebody. I don't think so either, but it doesn't not.
Come on, you guys. I hate that. I hate when people use that as a crutch. You know.
Right.
I have to smoke so I don't feel this way. How about you figure out what's making you feel that way and you handle it from the root?
For me, it's my family.
I think tomorrow's show is going to be a great show. Creed, I think you got a lot of. I think you got. You got a lot. You got a lot of work ahead of you. You know. So I guess any last words for tonight? You know, we've been out here for almost 3 hours.
Miss Creative Solutions, you want to go first? Ladies first.
This was really something. I kind of went off on Darnell. You know, hopefully he understands that we love him and we want the best for him. And I mean, if you look at his videos and his track log within the past 3 to 6 months, he should understand why. And as for the ladies, please don't take what these men are saying. I mean, I think you should focus on yourself. Focus on I was saying this in my other video, right? Work on your insides. And when I mean your insides, work on your belief systems, your thought patterns, and try to build yourself up, you know, so you don't need external factors to help you feel good. Or, you know, you won't be like the lady right here in the video, you know, she need this man is because she feels like she's missing something that she believes that she needs that's outside of herself. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. This was a funny show, Torch.
Yeah, it was entertaining. All right, how about J Mike? J Mike, break it down.
It was a good show too. I mean, to me it was as well, but I mean, it's a lot of women like Sherry Strawberry out here. This is the result of being forced this black love fantasy myth. And Sherry Strawberry is the perfect example of why I don't spread that false hope of black love for black women. I say go who you. I tell black women open up their option, date whoever they feel is the perfect match for them, even if they aren't black. But if you do find a black man, let's just hope he's not like Ernesto, because Ernesto is the majority of black men. I'm sorry to tell them that, but it's the truth.
That is true. Unfortunately, right now, at least from what I've seen. Okay, Darnell, go ahead and finish us up. What do you think?
Okay. Well, one question I had for you, DJ Torch, and I wrote this down. You said it earlier, and you say it quite frequently about women shouldn't date down. So I had a question. What do you consider dating down? Does income have anything to do with it?
I think it does.
As far as wait, say that one more time. Say that one more time. Say it one more time.
Okay, so DJ Torch, you said women shouldn't date down,
right?
And you do say it quite often.
Yes, all the time.
Yes, sir. So, what do you consider dating down, and does income have anything to do? Is it just an income thing, or is it? I mean, what do you consider dating down?
Income is part of it. Character is part of it. Education is part of it.
All right. So the guy that makes that put yourself in the shoes of a 21-year-old, fresh out of high school, I don't know, 18 to 21, fresh out of high school, he might be in college. Maybe college wasn't for him. He might be just getting his certification to do a job. Do you consider that dating down?
Say that one more time.
Men that are fresh out of high school, 18 to 21, they're either in college, not really making any money,
You're talking about
or
18?
yes, sir, 18 to 21-year-olds that men that aren't making any money, or maybe they might have got a certificate and have an apprenticeship somewhere. If college wasn't for them, maybe they got an apprenticeship somewhere. Would you consider them dusty?
You're talking about the guys that are still in the education system, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Those are kids.
Well, legally they're adults, but like this is the only issue that I have with your statement is like, or I'm sorry, not your statement, but your
No, you can't. Okay, let me break it down like this.
Okay.
Usually, people don't think about marriage until they're in their 20s.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think people can get dusty until really you're in your mid-20s. Now, you can still be a thug, you can still be a loser, but you're not dusty. Dusty's, to me, in my theory, starts in your 30s. You can start being dusty in your 30s.
Okay.
But I don't know why you're bringing up somebody who's 18 years old that hasn't even had enough education to acquire, unless they come from a rich family, to acquire an income that's going to support anybody.
The only reason I bring it up, I just wanted your opinion because it's like, if it does have to do with income, like I said, people 18 to 25, they're not making that much money.
No, then they shouldn't be. They really, quite honestly, shouldn't be. They should be focused on being successful.
Okay, fair enough.
DJ Torch, okay, it was somebody said in the chat about telling men they should encourage their sons to go overseas so they won't create new dust here. The problem with that is they're creating dust overseas too. They don't like to talk about that.
Right, that is true. Yeah, they're definitely creating dust.
They're creating
overseas.
violence homes overseas too.
Yeah.
See
And
what?
a lot of the STD rates are very high in overseas, especially in South American countries.
Yikes. I was gonna say, that sending your sons overseas, why don't you set a positive example for your son here in the States and be a father, push him, be there every day, be somebody he can call on, guide him so he can be the man that he's supposed to be. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science, people. You leave a whole person, you leave a whole child to go and figure stuff out and fend for themselves, and they might look and find somebody who's not the best mentor, and they might think that's masculinity because they're trying to find something and you left the child to go seek it on their own.
I couldn't agree more. All right, everybody. I think I'm going to play that jam. You know what went on.